Hello, my name is Fox, and I am a Fox, and Gojira! But, god damn, this show is fun. And here's the thing that I really love about this. And, like, because here's the thing, and I've said this before. I've said this a few times with Skull Island, and I think Skull Island, as well as a lot of the newer kaiju stuff. I think it said in Gamera specifically. Yeah, in Gamera review, I specifically talked about this. Kaijus need to have that silly factor to be amazing. That's what kaijus have to be. They have to have that bit of silly factor to be amazing. Kong, he's cool. Don't get me wrong. Kong is badass. Yes, he's Optimus Primal, but he's the gorilla I have right now. But Kong is badass. He is cool. And he gets a little bit of the silly factor from his axe and where he's from Skull Island. That's where he gets his silly factor from. But mind you, that is not as, silly and or badass as, let's say, a giant amphibious dinosaur kaiju that shoots radiation blasts out of his mouth whose back spines glow. Or a multi-headed alien dragon. Twinferno here standing for Ghidorah that shoots gravity lightning beams out of his mouth. You need that silly factor. You need that cool thing, and that's why the what is it, King of the Monsters I love a lot. But, some people are like, oh, I want to see more about, what is it, is Solomon? I can't remember. They're some of those other kaiju that pop up in King of the Monsters. They're like, oh, I want to see more about this kaiju. I want to see more about that kaiju. Or, something like the Mutos. I guess the Mutos kind of had something with, the Electro Pulse. But their design-wise, I don't know, it didn't fit well for me. I think did they have an EMP pulse? I think they had an EMP pulse that they shot out, but that was kind of it. And design-wise, they were fine, but it's not a monster design. I'd be like, oh yeah, that's a really good design. It's nah. You need that silly factor, but then you also need it to be identifiable and kind of unique to itself. Which Godzilla has in spades, for one. But they've added, and they've added a new, and you have Ghidorah, Mothra, Rodan. Rodan had at least he's on fire all the time. There's they all have that silly factor, but they're still very unique. But a lot of them, and a lot of the newer Monster vs. Kaijus, I just don't really care for, because it's they need something. They need a breath weapon. They need, certain different abilities. They have a mix of different things together. We got that. We actually got that in this new episode, which we'll get to. But, first off, I was so kind of happy. Oh, shit. Because we see, we've heard about this scene. And I think it's shown in the comics, which is done differently in the comics. When it's pretty much this here, the Monarch being these three, they try to get the military to help fund for Monarch so they can have, their, I'm just going to light shining back there. They can have, funding so they can make, Monarch, be able to study these giant beasts, these kaijus and all these titans, and study them and all this stuff, and showing a giant footprint of Godzilla to them. And they say, well, how much do you need to prove this? What do you need to prove this? The general, the Swede from, what was it? Hell on Wheels. I believe that's him. Says, how do you need to prove this? Oh, we need this much radiation. And they're like, that's more than we dropped on Japan. And they're like, yeah, we need that. And they're like, okay, I'll get that to you. This is going to give me nightmares. But they were going to use it to, feed, to lure him out. Not as but the military's we'll make that into a bomb, because we're gonna blow him the hell up. Which the payoff isn't going to be here yet. But, like, we already know Godzilla survives. Because they nuke his ass. They hit him point blank. Also, I still feel like that's still too close to a nuclear bomb. They hit him point blank with an atomic bomb. Which, mind you, they're like, this is the strongest weapon they have currently at this point in time on Earth. Which, by God, how terrifying is it that this guy can survive that point blank? Which also, we also know, which also we've seen like where they paint like this symbol on the side, because this is the scene where in 2014 where they're like that back then that was a nuclear bomb testing, right? Like, no, we were trying to kill it. This is that scene, because you can see where they paint that on her, but. Which actually, I guess they probably must have sent like images. Like, how the hell would they know that's how he looked? But, how would they know that's how he looked? The soldier knew how to look. I guess maybe Monarch sent pictures. But we also know in 2019? Yeah, because I think the years go along with ours. In 2019, we know that, Dr. Hirasawa, I believe it's Dr. Hirasawa, uses a nuke point blank on Godzilla to give Godzilla a supercharge. So, and that bomb, if I'm pretty sure, is way stronger than what they have here. So, yeah, no, because like, there's a whole thing, because Monarch obviously wants to study Godzilla and the Titans. So they're not pleased about this, finding out it's a bomb. And they blow, and when then this girl tries to stop the explosion, but it doesn't. The soldier guy, the U.S. agent stops her. God, I guess in a sense, because the models are already done, they don't really have they just need to reuse those assets for or like. Touch it up a little bit for these movies or this show, I'd imagine, since they don't have to remake an entire Godzilla model. I imagine that's why like the models for some of these kaijus look really good, or they just threw a shit ton of money into it. I don't know, because that would seem weird. Like, why? Like, you could probably grab the 2014 model or the 2019 model for Godzilla and still be able to animate it and everything very well, I'd imagine. Just add a little lighting and boom, like, yeah. But anyways, I don't know how these TV shows are done, but yeah, Godzilla looks badass. But yeah, they hit him with this, doesn't do anything, obviously. Well, we don't know yet, and by the end they think, oh yeah, Godzilla's dead. Like, this girl's crying because she wanted to study it, and like why would you do that? But eventually we do find out that the general, the Swede, does give them the backing. Like, the soldier guy's like, look, I don't think they're gonna give us anything, so I just said everything. We need more men, we need this, we need that, and we need all this funding. And the Swede denied their offer because he said, you guys are gonna need way more. He gives them a blank check, pretty much saying, like, you have all the U.S. government money that you need to do everything to research more of these Titans and all that stuff. And even Monarch, and even like the doctor and cryptozoologist here, like, and the soldier, the soldier says, like, look, I only have to tell what I'm reported to. So if you don't tell me everything, I don't have to report anything, so we can keep a lot of this stuff secret. And, this is pretty much the beginning of Monarch. This is the beginning of Monarch and everything like that between these three. Which also, like, in the future timeline, or the main time, or the 2014, I was going to say present, but that's not true. In 2014, this guy being old or whatever, I don't think I actually brought that up last time. I don't think I did. In episode 2, like, their grandkids, and one of the grandkids' girlfriend, who's the one who like digitized all of the files and all that stuff. They find him, which he's like, oh yeah, Monarch is keeping me here to keep track of my stuff because I know too much. They escape. They go to Korea where they meet up with a friend, and like, there's a cool kind of like, oh shit, like, oh, they might go to jail. It's like, nope. But they're got a friend who gets them a plane because they're going to go to Alaska, where the last known sighting of their dad is, where they fly there. Monarch is kind of on their tail a little bit, like after like Korea, but they don't exactly know where they're going yet. But they fly out to Alaska, where they come down, which they landed pretty much where the other plane supposedly crashed, which we find out when there's a tent and everything. No, it didn't crash. One, the dad's alive, most likely, but he's somewhere. We don't know where. But the dad isn't dead, which, actually, hold on. Yeah, this thing. Hold on. I'll bring that up. But, okay, there's nothing there. Because I remember, like, when King of the Monsters was coming out, they had, like, a list. They had, like, a map of everywhere where, like, Monarch had... Let's see, maybe it's here. They had a list of, like, everywhere there was a sighting of a monster, or where they had a monster contained. Because Splitting Atom Timeline, no. Mission Skull Island, no. Monster Zero. Where was Monster Zero? Because Monster Zero was Ghidorah. But pretty much they go to... Then they're like, oh my god, Dad's alive! And, you know, there's a whole thing of like, oh, the daughter wondering if she should or should not see her dad again. And, you know, all this nice little stuff, which I'm like, okay, I get it. Monster Zero and Monarch discovers a extraordinary super species beneath the Antarctic ice sheet. Yes! Okay, so I think I know where... Okay, so yeah. No, because it's Alaska, not Antarctica. Because they go to Alaska in, what the hell? Sorry, I just... The worst? Why is Battle Cat... What? Wait a second. What is this? Why is Battle Cat here being ridden by a golden brain? What is this? What the hell is this? I'll bring that up later. I'll look that up later. But, sorry. Pretty much they go to Alaska to find... It turns out the plane that was there actually landed safely fine, which I guess it makes sense. Like, if there's so many safe landing spaces, that's where they would land. Especially after, like, all their shit goes haywire. Which, it's very surprising, like they had an idea of, you know, the daughter was sitting next to this dude, older, and as his co-pilot, and he's like, take a swig of that water. She takes a swig, it's like, this is just water. Like, take a swig of that bottle. Take a swig, it's just water. She sounded disappointed. She wanted alcohol. But capped it, put on there, and, like, use the water as a makeshift, like, to know which one you're right side up. I'm like, oh, that's really smart. But they go to Alaska, and they find this thing. They find this thing, which, alone, design-wise, it's like some kind of, like, armored, mole thing which digs under the snow and ground, which I'm like, okay, kind of cool. But then when it bites down on the plane, which it's very sad when the this guy's nope, not that one. Nope, not that one. This guy, or shit, where the hell is he? This guy's Korean friend in the future, he gets killed, but the monster bites down on the plane and it looks like it sucks out all of, like, the heat in like that area and freezes the plane and the dude inside it, with his thing, with like these things that are glowing, which I'm like, oh my god, we have a MonsterVerse kaiju. Kurt Russell talks Monarch. We have, oh yeah, Kurt Russell is late. But we have a MonsterVerse kaiju that actually has a new silly breath weapon that has its own ability. Because again, like, that's MonsterVerse, one of the main things that have, like, mind you, I want to see more of this, obviously see more things, but it has its own ability, which, yes, that is way more on point of giving it some cool powers or cool things that make it a bigger kaiju. Mind you, this is going to be a pretty sure a monster of the week kind of thing. Like, I don't think it's going to be have that big of a point other than, you know, big monster, but, or, you know, big-ish monster, because he's not even like Godzilla size, more like, you know, tinier. But that is what I wanted. I want these stranger kaiju with different abilities and stuff, and this looks like we're gonna get that now. Because it ends with like that appearance of it sucking out the air and then just roaring, and then just ends the episode there. So next episode, hopefully we'll be able to see them deal with this more. We didn't see what happened with the dragon thing that they saw last episode in the Philippines. We didn't see that. But maybe we'll see more. Maybe we're going to see more. Because I want to see how this thing is going to be. And like, what is in Alaska? Because the brother, when they're flying over, he saw something off in the distance. So is there another? So I'm assuming there must be another kaiju there, which I wonder where this is going to kind of lead. Like, is this 2014? Is this series that takes 2015 and like all this Monarch Legacy? Is it going to tie it? Like, I would like hopefully to see this tie into the movies in a way. Let's say this ties into New Empire. Like, are we going to see like origins or get more of a backstory on stuff with Kong and Godzilla, which also, again, that's the thing that they do use to make Kong way cooler, is that they give him and Godzilla a ancient rivalry of that their species fought one another, and that Kong and Godzilla were like the ruling species in the middle, in Hollow Earth. Until, obviously, Kong's people had to leave at some point. So, it's very interesting to see where that's going to lead. And I hope this is going to lead into something like that. And obviously, it has to lead also with, hopefully, Godzilla fighting something. Because at least some of these MonsterVerse stories, that's usually kind of how it is. Like, there is a hidden kaiju that eventually Godzilla is going to fight. Or the main character is going to fight, whether it be Kong versus the Kraken, or hopefully Godzilla versus whatever's coming. So, I don't know. But this show is freaking fun. This show is kind of really cool. Like, first episode obviously is a little bit more like slowly building up the mystery. Second episode working a little bit more. And like, there's a twist at the end of episode 1. But then this one is like, oh shit, yeah, now we're getting into the monster stuff. We got Godzilla popping up when they try to blow him up with a nuke, which I can't wait to see when in the past, when they find Godzilla again, they're like, oh shit, you're alive. Like, you're alive. And not to mention there's the whole thing with like, when the grandma got taken away by the bugs or whatever. So I'm assuming maybe that might tie into something, like maybe whatever those mutos were in that eggs are probably what's maybe on Alaska. I don't know. This episode's fun. I definitely want to see what this like heat eater is gonna be like doing, and like I want to see what's going on. And also, I do like when Godzilla comes out. Like, actually, let me see, because he should be here. Umbrella.
Is that armor? What the hell does that thing need protection from?
Us.
In a sense, yes. Like, in case you guys try to kill him. But also on that same note, Godzilla needs that armor to fight Mutos and other giant monsters. Which actually, I wonder how that would work too, like evolution wise. Because the idea is that how evolution works is if a creature, it jumped the Kong. If a creature has spikes on his back, it's the idea that that is a prey thing, where like that means there's something bigger that fights it and tries to eat it and stuff. But then like I also think on that same note though, like Kaiju's whole thing is being massively huge and fighting each other. So I'd imagine like this would evolve even on predators, because there is no apex in a sense. Each kaiju can fight another kaiju. Like hell, 2014 shows a dead Godzilla skeleton. So and even though I guess Kong's people are probably like maybe eight. Well, I guess they'd have to be apexes too, because that's the whole thing that they're alphas. But because they don't have any defense other than weapons. But then again, humanity is kind of alpha predator. That's why we don't have any spikes, but we have weapons to compensate that. But I don't know. But God, just look at that. I like the slightly little lay on the roar too. It's so good. Yeah.
Here, go for Castle Bravo.
God, and just the shot, the angle, like going up the tail. I wonder what like these like observers I sent there for, like when they were there, like, you want to see a giant monster explode? God, and he still survives. A bomb that hit Japan apparently wasn't as strong as this thing, and Godzilla just takes it and absorbs it and makes himself stronger. Like, actually, I kind of wonder if at this point in Godzilla's life, because I don't know, I gotta read the comic, but at the end, I don't know if the comic is even like canon. Like the first, I think it's like Godzilla Awakening. I don't even know if that's canon to the MonsterVerse anymore, because before they decided to making it a multi-movie series. But I wonder if Godzilla had his atomic breath at that point, or if he was too young, or if when he got hit with this nuke, that supercharged him to then give him his atomic breath, so he evolved to be able to use his atomic breath by then. Which obviously then later on, he gains stronger powers when he becomes Burning Godzilla, and Mothra also helping him out with that too. But yeah, I just love how like the kaijus evolve, like eating radiation, all this stuff. It's so good. I love the monster, and I love like how they're able to do this. This is great, and I love it a lot. And I can't wait to see what the next episode's going to bring, especially with this new ice kaiju. But thanks for watching my videos. Hopefully enjoy this, and we will. See you later. It's really hard to